Welcome back to the Business Exchange, the show where we dive into ideas, people, and innovations in shaping industry and redefining the future. I'm your host, Joseph. Today I'm joined with RJ Burr, President and CEO of Panex LLC, a family-led company rooted in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The Burr family has been active in this community for over 30 years, and Panex is built on something increasingly rare in business today: long-term thinking, generational leadership, and true partnership. RJ represents the next generation carrying forward a legacy started by Robert Bob Burr and his wife Doris, alongside family members Jay and Justin, with a clear determination to build not just for today, but for future generations. RJ, welcome to the show.
Hey, Joseph, how are you doing today?
Good, doing very well. All right, so Panex is deeply rooted in family and community. Can you share the original story of the business and how it evolved over time?
Oh, wow. It's it's something some people grow up trying to find their purpose. You know, some people spend their whole lives looking for it. I knew mine at 7. That was when my dad took me on the rig for the first time. And I don't know if you've ever been to Luling, Texas, but it has a unique smell to it. And, you know, if you're not familiar with it, you would say it stinks. And because it smells like oil.
Yeah.
And I remember go to work with your dad day at school, and so we drive. It was 800 degrees in Texas. I mean, stick your face out the window, it's going to melt. And we get to town, and I open the door, I'm like, Dad, what's that smell? He goes, baby, that's money. And we went out to the field, and when I saw the arm of the pump jacks, you know, the horses that go up and down and get the oil out, I was hooked. And I knew what I wanted to do. Now, fortunately, this is all my family's ever done. My grandfather was back. He was a company man back in the Wild West days of oil. My uncles now. I say my uncles, but it's my mom's brothers were 21 and 26 years older than her. She was a baby boomer that had two 20-year-old brothers when she was born. Well, they were in the business before my dad even got in the business. And then my uncle, my dad's brother got in. And this is just something that's there's always been a Burr or a member of my family in the oil patch since the darn near the very beginning.
Wow.
That's all we know.
Very nice. So what lessons did you learn from Bob Burr that still guide you in your lead today?
Oh, simple. Without our partners, we don't have business.
Gotcha.
Everything we do has one fundamental principle. Is it good for our partners?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, without them, you don't have business. They provide everything. And so that's a key. I'll tell everybody, don't ever take your partners for granted.
Yeah.
Your business is bankrupt.
Yeah, exactly. So how does being a multi-generational family business change the way you make decisions compared to short-term, investor-driven companies?
Well, prime example. Look at what we're seeing today. If you were to ask President Trump what is his number one goal, he would say the U.S. economy.
Yeah.
That's not all the other stuff is answered to the U.S. economy. Well, what is the quickest way to kickstart the U.S. economy? Low energy prices. You push the price of oil down, the price of everything else will down.
Right.
And so what you're seeing right now is a concerted effort to push the price of oil down is relief on the U.S. economy. Now, throughout this whole process, the one thing that gives me comfort is our experience with President Trump tells me that he is a businessman, and he understands the fact that high energy prices kill the consumer, but low energy prices kill the oil companies. And I'm not going to go out and drill a well for loss.
Yes.
And so we found a sweet spot between 60 and 80 this first term. That's where I really looked at it. Now, it might go lower than that right now just because they're really pushing it down. But here's the point I'm making. When you know the industry and you know what you're looking at, everything you're doing right now is false. Everything they're doing right now is something because they're manipulating.
Right.
They're ignoring the fact that 80% of the world is just now beginning to use it. What do you think they're going to do? When Ma and Pa walk in their home for the first time, flip that light switch on and lights come on. Are they going to say, oh, baby, this is awesome. Let's go get a washer and dryer? Or are they going to say, oh, baby, we're destroying the environment, go get the candles?
Yeah.
Everybody knows what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to use more. And so there's an entire demand sector that really is never even mentioned. Well, what do you think that's going to do to oil prices 10 years from now? And so when you look at all this, like I look at right now, well, like 2020. In 2020, when the markets crashed on April 20th, most people didn't see it coming. We did. We had our cash ready, and we knew that that market crashed. Now, I'm not going to insult your intelligence and say we saw COVID. That's not what we saw happen. What we saw happen was Russia and Saudi Arabia. We saw them increasing production, going after the U.S. shale industry. For lack of a better definition, it's essentially economic war. They were trying to take the U.S. shale industry out. And so we're sitting there watching this. If they push those prices down, there's going to be some companies that are in trouble. Because what most people don't realize is that American oil is not your majors. American oil is not Exxon. It's not your big boys that you see on TV.
Right.
American oil is roughly 9,000 companies that average 12 employees or less.
Right.
We produce 83% of the oil. We produce 90% of the natural gas. We drill more than 90% of the wells drilled domestically.
Right.
So when that price crashed in 2020, those were the companies that were hit.
Yeah.
Your majors, yeah, it hurt them a little, but their majors, they put it in their balance books and just walked on. Well, in 2020, when that market crashed, we were able to turn a negative 40 oil into what we think is about $7 billion in oil reserves through acquisitions.
Wow.
And we think it's about to happen again. And the reason is, remember who got hurt? 5 years ago, it was your small independents.
Yeah.
Now, over the next 5 years, if they had happy, fun time drilling, they might have been able to recover. But those 4 years with Biden was rough. They were going after the oil industry. I mean, in Louisiana, you're looking at some cases, it took almost 12 months just to get a well permit, let alone a drill.
Wow.
And so these companies didn't have warm, friendly environments to recover from. So a lot of them haven't. Now, here's the kicker. In 2020, nobody saw it coming, except for a handful of people. Now, everybody sees it coming.
Yeah.
You don't have to go dig deep in the news and read in the bylines to find it. All you have to do is watch what President Trump said.
Yeah.
I'm going to push energy prices down. Well, how many times has he said something and didn't do it? And so all you have to do is sit here and watch what's going to happen. Those companies that are in the danger zone, when they see that price going down and they see the danger on the horizon, they're going to do what everybody does. They're going to start selling their assets for cash.
Yeah.
To bolster the cash reserves to make it through. Well, when that happens, we plan on being there, and we think we can double or triple what we did 5 years ago.
Ah, nice. Nice.
So that's where it now. I might be average, and there might be a million other people out there thinking like I think. However, this is what 33 years of the business taught me, is to trust your gut.
Yes.
And when they say something, believe them.
Yes, exactly. Way to go. So you refer to your customers as partners. What does that relationship look like in practice?
Oh, they're my investing partners. Every one of them. Oh, there's my cell number. Every one of them has it.
Yeah.
I'm a 24/7 guy. It doesn't matter to me what time of day you call. I call it the G word because there are no guarantees. It's kind of used as a cuss word because nobody uses the G word in oil. But I do give my partners 2 guarantees. One, if by chance you call me and I don't answer, I'll call you back before I go to bed that night. And 2, if you ask me a question that I don't know the answer to, I'll find it.
Yes.
Other than that, I give you everything I got and let the chips fall where they fall.
Yes. Perfect. Good. So what operational challenges come with scaling while maintaining quality and trust?
Well, it really comes. I read Jack Welch's book. He was president of GE years ago. All his friends and competitors wanted him to write a business book. You know, Jack, you're the great mind that built GE into what it is, and he would never do it. Why would I give you my tricks of the trade? Well, when he retired, he said, "Okay, I'm retired. I'm not competing with them. I'll tell them what I did." Well, the one bit of advice that stuck out to me in that book is it's not who you hire who makes or breaks your company. It's who you don't fire. And so when it comes to scaling, it all comes down to your people. I hate to be a monetary guy, but there's a reason the Dodgers are the Dodgers. And there's a reason the Oakland A's are the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's you get what you pay for. And so when you have people on your team that are the best, make sure they stay on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give them a reason to go somewhere else, because
Yeah.
as long as you have the right minds. And then the biggest thing is once again, I'm going to go with me, because all I can speak is me. My biggest moment came when I finally started trusting myself. I think that's the final step to becoming a full-grown man, is that, yes, you still go to other people for validation, you still go to other people for their opinions.
Yes.
However, when it boils down to it, we've got to go with what your gut tells you you need to do.
Yes.
And I've been doing that for about 10 years now, and since I've been doing it, knock on wood, I'm batting about 1,000.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So what financial metrics matter most to you as CEO, and which ones do you intentionally ignore?
Typically, we don't spend money before it's in the house.
Right.
When you hit a well, it doesn't matter how many reserves are in that well, you can't go out and sell it. And so make sure you produce that oil before you buy that well.
Right.
And so that would be kind of just make sure it's there. Don't there's no reason to risk life or limb on anything. As long as you can, well, you look at our drilling rigs. By nature, oil is spent.
Yes.
Everybody ever tells you different, they're lying.
Yeah.
And so what separates the men from the boys, how do you manage that risk?
Yeah.
Am I going to take my partners out and have a 1 in 100 shot at making 100 to 1 on their money? There's a lot of people that have no problem taking the gamble. There's a lot of people that make them, they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Or am I going to put my partners in a position where they got a 90% chance and making 3 or 4 to 1? It's knowing your partners and really just knowing how to manage that risk. Because if you don't, it'll eat you up.
Yeah, exactly. So what's been the biggest financial lesson learned through growth and or adversity?
The crazy thing is this comes from the real estate business. It didn't even come from oil and gas. I was 27, I think. 27, 28, been married for a couple years, had a couple kids at that point, and I'm building a house. I knew nothing about building houses. I'd never done it before. And lo and behold, I got that. It was probably about 25,000. Just I got taken. And as soon as it happened, I could bite the bite. I was so mad. You would rather find surface all than fight me at the moment. And I'm driving home, and I drive by my brother-in-law's house. And I see him out in the backyard with this fellow named Jerry McKinney. And Jerry McKinney, at one point, was the #1 Oldsmobile salesman in the United States, based out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. He was just a spectacular guy. Jerry was a treat to talk to. And so I see him sitting out there drinking beer, and so I pull over and I walk up, and I'm running through everything. I'm so mad, and I'm laying the whole thing out. And Jerry looks at me and says, "Jay, I'm going to tell you one thing." He said, "You go talk to your dad, you go talk to anybody who's successful, they'll tell you the same thing. Everybody who has made money has lost money.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, do you lose money the same way twice?"
Yeah.
He said, "Learn from it, chalk it up as a lesson, and then don't let it happen."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's great advice. Very good. So how do you evaluate ROI How do you evaluate ROI when investments involve people, systems, and long-term resilience?
There's a couple different angles to that question. The ROI, when it comes to selecting product, it just depends on what we're looking for. It depends on how much risk we're going to take with that well, what the odds are that the oil's there, what are the odds are that we can produce it, and what are the odds are that we can get to it. And so there's just kind of a little formula in that we kind of look through. And it's more, once again, it's more of a gut when you sit down and look and say, okay, I'm willing to take that role for that. Now, when it comes to my partners and it comes to the people that invest with us, it's simple. Oil and gas is spec. If this money is something that if the world opened up and swallowed my company, and I lost every dime you invested other than your tax benefits, if it's going to change the clothes you wear, the car you drive, the food you eat, it's not for it. Don't do it.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's kind of the metrics I use, is that this is your disposable income. This is not something you pay your bills with. It's not something you take care of your kids with. This is money that you're okay with cutting it loose and giving me a couple of years to turn it into something.
Right. Good. So what keeps you up at night as a leader of a growing multi-generational company?
Getting all the work done.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the field right now, and we got We got 200 direct offsets we need to drill. We drilled the first 13. We found oil every time. We've had 3 mechanical failures, no geological. We'll put 10 of them into production. I got another 200 wells to drill. And so, if there is anything that keeps me up at night, it's scaling that. Because I truly believe the only thing standing between where we are and where we want to be is time.
Right.
And more specifically, the amount of time it takes me to raise the money to get all the work done.
Yes. Gotcha.
We're on the way. I know we're on the way.
Gotcha. So where do you feel friction today? Operations, hiring, margin, systems, communication?
I'd say probably communication. I'd say, but that's with everything. We've gotten so used to texting and so used to digital communication that visually speaking with somebody is not something a lot of people are comfortable with doing anymore.
No.
And it's all I'd much rather talk to than anything else, because that's how I've made my living since I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just you can hear voice inflection. You can hear, there's certain things you can hear that they're telling you that they're not really trying to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. And same with body language too, right? So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now it's a little different now that Zoom and all your video conferences have come into play. That's one because I really prefer video conferences because I like seeing somebody. However, over a phone, you sharpen your skills over a phone. All you have is your ears to listen to. What they're doing on the other side.
Gotcha. How do you protect culture as leadership expands beyond the founding generations?
Protect culture?
Yeah, like the company culture and stuff.
We all. It's kind of old-fashioned, but I'm here to help everybody here. And we all have the proper spirit, and it's something that if you're not willing to help the guy next to you, because you've been in that spot before, well, I really don't have to fire them. If they don't have the proper spirit, they can't handle it here, and they'll find a way to go somewhere else.
You're right.
And so it's just, I'm unabashedly pro-American. I don't back away from it. I don't shy away from it. I think we have the greatest story that's ever been told. We're not perfect. There was only one perfect time we hung on a cross.
Yeah.
However, I don't know many countries that can say they killed over 500,000 of their own citizens for right or wrong. We did.
Right. Yeah.
And to watch the fact that we don't get any credit for that, it takes me off. I look at the rest of the world as one of those I kind of say, would you really be sitting in the position you're sitting in today without us?
Yeah.
And honestly, what makes me angrier than anything is when you look at it, I truly believe, and it's not just Americans. I think if you grab just an average cross-section of any country, I believe all the people would believe the same thing. Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. If I need help, I'll ask for it. If you need help, ask me. I know what's best for my family. It's just a set of traditional values.
Yes.
And we're trying to be wizards of smart and change on it.
Yeah.
And when you look at the politicians from all, and I'm talking right, left, it doesn't matter. They've taken that good nature of humanity and used it against us.
Yeah.
And that's what really infuriates me. And that's what I try to keep when it comes to culture in the office. That's what I try to keep here. The guys don't back away from being proud of who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Stand tall, walk straight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you go to bed every night, look yourself in the mirror. If you don't like what you're looking at, you're doing something wrong. You better figure it out.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
If you do, you're doing something wrong. Go to bed knowing that you like who you're looking at. There's only one person you can't lie to. That's you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it certainly seems like everybody forgot what common sense is. So.
I think COVID drove it out. I mean, it really. Yeah. Since COVID, the world has changed in ways that you sit down and say, "I can't believe that."
Yeah.
In what world does 1 + 1 = 5?
Yeah, exactly.
Yet you're expecting me to believe that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's scary.
It is. That'd be another 3-hour conversation if we went into that.
Well, that's and I'm biased because I'm in the oil business. But I look at education, and I look at the fact that most people, and not just me, but most people have no idea about the most important resource that humanity's ever utilized, and that's oil. We've allowed the opponents of oil to define what oil has been for 70 years now.
Yeah.
Instead of coming out and saying, whoa, hang on. You do realize that everything we do in the world, in the modern society, is built on a foundation of oil.
Yeah.
You know, I guess it took Billy Bob saying for people to start hearing.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And we're having, the same problems with our own current government here in Canada.
Yeah.
The liberal government's always been anti-oil and anti-Alberta, so it's terrible.
Well, I was talking with, I was at CPAC one year here a handful of years ago, and I was talking with Nigel Frost, and it was just, we're backstage, just sitting there talking, and that question came up, why are they doing it? But why do they hate oil so much? And being a little fly on the wall, the answer really blew me away because it was so simple. Yet, man, if it's not the truth, please somebody tell me what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and he says, Jay, you do realize that you cannot control abundance. You can control scarcity.
Yeah.
And so if they all got behind oil and all got behind energy, all of a sudden they lose control of it because now everybody can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, if they force everybody to go to green energy and stuff that doesn't work, and now you're restricted in supply,
Yeah.
guess what? You get to choose who gets it. That puts you in a
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
And you hate to say that it's that simple, but well, somebody else tell me where he's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So, when you hear AI in business, what excites you or what makes you cautious?
Bad actors be cautious. I mean, because it is so powerful. It really is. My dad had heart surgery here last year, and his back had been hurting him for ever since the heart. Had nothing to do with each other. Why is your back hurting? Because of your heart. And they couldn't figure out here in Bowling Green. They couldn't figure out why his back was hurting. He had some ablations, he had some treatments, and it just would not fix it. And so one of his buddies got him into Vanderbilt, and so he goes down to Vandy, and they bring all the film and everything they took here, and they really didn't even take the film at Vandy. They just looked at everything here, and immediately the doctor said, "Oh, you got a cyst right here on the outside of your spine. It's up against your sciatic nerve," and went in and cut it out. And so here's where it scared me. My mom was blown away that this guy identified it so quickly. So she is on her computer, and she pulls up an AI program, a medical AI program, and she enters all those scans into the AI program. And within 30 seconds, the guy is diagnosed the exact same thing.
Wow.
And so you hate to say it this way, because I'm one of the old schools. I'm one of those guys that I'd still use 3x5 parts. If it hadn't finally been proven to me that, okay, that was so non-efficient. But, so I finally had to go 3x5 parts. And so I am old school in that manner, but however, if you're not using AI, your competition is.
Yeah, you're darn right there. Yeah.
Because it just makes some of the mundane, day-to-day detail stuff that takes you all day to get done, it does it in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And so it makes you a lot more efficient.
It sure does.
I started using ChatGPT here about a year and a half ago. And I tried here 2 or 3 years ago when it first came out. And I just couldn't figure out the prompts. I couldn't figure out the right way to ask a question, and I was just going so hard that I didn't want to dedicate the time to do it. Well, either I've gotten smarter or it's gotten smarter, because now, once I got back into it, I can run prompts, no problem. It does exactly what I wanted to do. But when I did it, when I got back into it a year and a half ago, I said, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to put all my correspondence in it, I'm going to put my emails in it, I'm going to put my production letters. I'm going to give it a full breakdown of the company, because if I'm going to utilize this tool, I want it to be armed with exactly who we are and what we're looking to do. That way, when it starts digging and giving suggestions, it's pushing towards our goal. And I had a contract, I was talking with an investment bank, and we were putting together a contract on them raising some money for us. I had my call with my lawyer to make sure I dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's, and while I was waiting for my lawyer to call me back, I said, you know what? ChatGPT has access to every law on the books. Let me ask it the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got into it, and before I did that, I said, okay, I'm going to give it a test. Give me an overview of patents. And that's all I ask. Just give me take all the information we've shared over the last year and a half, give me an overview. And it popped out a 10-page overview of the company that was spot on.
Wow.
I was like, okay, all right, it's got me. And so then I asked it the question and it laid it out. Sure enough, my lawyer came back and it told me exactly what ChatGPT told me. My lawyer said, hey, there's your route, that's how you got yourself. And so, no, it's, it really is. I mean, it's just an amazing tool. What you look at, when they first turned them on here a year ago, I was reading what there's some odd 27 different building materials that humans have used since we've started building buildings. And so they took this one AI program and they geared it towards chemical combinations, periodic table and everything in there. And the question it asked it, run through all the potential chemical combinations and compound combinations and come up with building materials that humans can use that can sustain growth and sustain time. Within 20 minutes, this computer came up with over 2,000 different combinations.
Wow.
That we could use to build stuff. So we went from 27 to potentially 2,000 in 15 minutes. And that was when I first turned the computer on. Now it's been running for a year. Do you think it's smarter?
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's just, it's so scalable, and it's scary. Well, going back to energy, how do you think we're going to power all this?
Yeah.
That's why I look at oil as something that, man, if you don't have some of your portfolio, you're missing the boat.
Yeah.
Involved.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, so you mentioned a couple areas there that you use AI for and automation inside your company. Is there any other areas like in operation, forecasting, process, optimization, partner communication?
I use it in partner communication. It keeps me. I have a big partner book, and when you're the main guy calling them all, you can miss calls if you're not scheduled properly.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That helps me work. Now when it comes to projections and all that, that's more my geologist and production engineer side. And honestly, I'm not sure if they use it or not. I'm sure they do, but I don't require it. They're really good at what they're doing. As long as they keep it well, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care if you lean against the wall and push your head up and pick up 1 foot. That's how you think we're drilling well. Keep doing it because we're hitting everything you tell us we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And AI is great for that. Yes, people are scared it's going to lose, people are going to lose their positions in that. But like with your... Yeah, but with your mentality and the way you've got it, no, it's there to help companies and individuals improve themselves. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, well, you look at, say I write a big long revenue letter, or a partnership update, and it's a good, 2-3 page letter. Well, you take that letter, run it through ChatGPT, and I don't know, that's just one I use. Is there a better one? I'm sure. I don't know. That's just one I'm familiar with, and so I stick with it. I'm kind of habitual like that. But when you take that letter and run it through there, and it just corrects your grammar. It pulls out repetitive statements. It points out, hey, you might want to reword this. That doesn't flow from. It gives you a little sense of spirit, so you're not putting a document in front of somebody where you forgot to dot the i's and you got to cross the t's.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a good quality control.
Yeah.
I'm pretty passionate. When I get rolling, and that comes with writing a letter or whether it's a presentation. But as long as I have a governor right there saying, "Well, hang on, I wouldn't step over that line right there." Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll stand.
Yeah, exactly. So if Panex were starting today, what systems would you build differently from day one?
I really don't think I'd change anything.
Gotcha.
I don't think I'd
Good.
change anything. Now, is there probably areas that we can be more efficient? There's probably areas that we can tighten down. Sure, everybody has those, but to sit down and identify right now, I couldn't identify.
Yeah.
We got people with it's on average 15 years.
Right. Nice. Yeah.
They don't go there. I'm a big roll guy. That's like I bought cars from the same dealership for like 15 years. There's no telling how many cars. I had 4 kids, and I bought it from the same guy. And I took the car, my engine blew. And this is after like 12,000 miles, my engine blew. And I took it in, and they just railed it. And I looked at those guys and said, hang on. That I bought every car I bought for 15 years, and you're gonna need this car?
Yeah.
And when I mean, it was bad. And I walked out and said, okay. I said, you do realize that you just lost a customer. And I guess they didn't really care, because now I've bought probably 8 cars since then, and I'm gonna go back to Pell. I'll drive to another town before I go back to the dealership. You know, it's just I'm a big loyal guy, and I'm gonna stick with you until you show me that I shouldn't stick with you.
Yeah. Well, way to go. So what advice would you give other family-owned businesses about embracing modern tools without abandoning legacy values?
Test it. Always have a backup. I mean, if you run on a 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to figure out how to skip 2 and 3, go straight from 1 to 4, you better have the layout of 1, 2, 3, 4 in case it doesn't work.
Right.
Now, if it works, great. Works once, I'd do it again. Works twice, okay, you're on. Works the third time, pretty good. Works the fourth time, you're on.
Yeah.
You know, but until you know you're on it, always keep backups where, you know. My brother used to tell me all the time when he was working on music or creating a book or whatever, always save. Just randomly go up there and hit save. That way, if something happens, you know you have the last copy right there. You didn't work for 3 hours and have to go back and redo all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. Just protect yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Good. So what does success look like for you personally over the next 10 to 20 years?
Next 10 to 20 years? In my shoot for the stars, I want to build the first major oil company on American oil in 40 years.
Nice, great goal.
That's you have a lot of companies out there that somebody's going to consolidate this American. And now, I say the first one, it's happened one other time, that it was when 2 companies merged. And so I kind of consider that cheating. They didn't, neither one of them really made it on their own. Together they made it. And so that's my goal. Right now, we're sitting on we think anywhere from 5 to 9 billion in reserves. Within the next 5 years, I want to sit on 20 to 30 billion reserves.
Yeah, nice.
And go from there. Because, like I said, somebody's going to consolidate, so why not us?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's my ultimate goal. I'd like to build a major where you shoot the stars, you hit the moon.
Yeah, exactly. So what's one hard-earned lesson every CEO should learn sooner than later?
Well, like I tell my kids, my boys are in the business now, and I say one of the mistakes that was made with me was when I first got into business, it was all about sales. And so as a young man, I didn't have any bills. I didn't have a wife at that point in time. Didn't have kids at that point in time. How much money does a 22-year-old really need?
Yeah.
And so what I would do is I'd look at the board and I'd see where everybody was, and I'd just beat them. Well, even though I beat them, was I maximizing my potential?
Mm-hmm.
No. I was just winning.
Yeah.
Now, in the same breath, if I'd have come in and my dad looked at me and said, look, I don't care about this. I want you to be the hardest worker. I want you to make more dials every day anybody else done. And if the talent's there, the results will take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was the mindset. If it wasn't raise money, if it was just be the hardest worker, well, okay, that's what I focused on. And guess what? I was pretty good at it anyway.
Yes.
That would have taken care of themselves. So what would I just beat them, or would I crush them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so when I brought my boys in, I said, look, don't worry about the end result. Don't worry about the sales. We'll get there. What you have to do right now is be the hardest worker down.
Yeah.
Everything else will take care of itself. Control is like a ball. Control what you can control. You can't control whether that umpire calls a strike or foot off the plate. What you can control is you taking that fastball right down the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
You better hit your pitch when you get a chance. Control what you can control, and everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah, especially in sales, you got to do the right activity, and as long as you're consistently doing that, the results will come.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of look at it, you know, my wife will have debates because I tend not to get worked up over that. You know, don't get me wrong, I do get worked up, but I don't. I guess I don't get worked up like a normal person. And it was something that I learned a long time ago that It doesn't matter what situation you're in. If you're upset, if you're mad, if you're sad, if you're crying, all that, when you fret, worry, stress, worry, and run through that whole process, you know where you are when you're done with that? Right back where you were when you started.
Yeah.
So why do it? Look at the problem, and honestly look at it. Don't BS yourself. Look at the problem. Is there anything you can do at this moment to fix it?
Yeah.
If there is, do it. If there's not, set it on the shelf and stop worrying about it, because there's nothing you can do about it. Now, as the time goes by, if an opportunity, something presents itself that can fix that, fix it at that point.
Yeah.
But it does you no good to sit and fret over that problem until you have a solution to it. And so, don't worry about it.
Yes. Well, that's great advice. And here's my last question. We're just wrapping up. So how can people learn more about Panex and the work you're doing?
Easy. Well, you can email me, rjburr@panex.us. That's the easiest way to get to me. And then what I tell, we created a website, panex.us/learn. And that website was designed for any individual who's never invested in oil and gas. It gives you a foundation of what we look for, what we try to produce, what the tax benefits are, then gives a little introduction to our company. Because what I call it the three factors. There are always three factors involved before we'll do business with anyone. The first factor is solely the buyer's responsibility. The remaining two factors are solely my responsibility. The factor that is theirs is the money. I can't tell them how much they have, and I can't tell them how much they can invest. Our programs are designed for accredited investors, third-party verification. And so if you don't meet that criteria, I don't want to waste your time, and I can't afford to waste my time.
Right.
Now, if money's not the issue, if you're sitting in a good position, I won't worry about your factor. Now it boils down to me and my two factors. The first one is who are you? Jay Burr and Panex. Why are we the kind of people you want to do business with? Could you envision yourself breaking bread with me and my family? If the answer to that is no, don't do business with me. I'll be the first one to tell you that.
Yeah.
Who cares what I can tell you we can do financially if you don't believe what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, once you see that I'm the kind of guy you want on your team, the second part of my factor is what can we do for you financially? There are millions of places in the world you can put your hard-earned money. Why is putting your money with us somewhere you should do? Now, when it's all said and done, if we have a positive on all three factors, we'll do business. If we have a negative on any one of them, and it can take any shape, form, or fashion you want, it can be
Right.
my wife, it's too risky, I'm going to talk to my lawyer, I'm going to talk to my CPA. Anything you can run at any one of those, when you follow it back down to the root, one of those three was negative.
Right.
And so that's kind of how I look at it, and that's what we try to lay out for people is find out who we are. We're fourth generation oil. This is all we do. We're sitting on a field down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana that's about as fine a field as you can get. We got 200 direct offsets and drill we're sitting on. We think bottom side 30, 40 million barrels of oil, top side about 100 million barrels of oil in place, and we're drilling direct offsets to go get it. And so if people are in a position where they're wanting to get involved with some good people that know how to do this and have been doing it for a long time, no, reach out to us. We'd love to show you. It doesn't matter. If you want to get involved, great. If not, I've been told no before, you're not going to business.
Perfect. Good. Well, thank you very much. RJ, this has been an incredible conversation, not just about business, but about legacy, leadership, and building something that truly lasts. To everyone listening, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, share it with someone building something meaningful, and join on the next time on the Business Exchange, where we explore the ideas, peoples, and innovation shaping industry and redefining the future. I'm your host, Joseph, and we'll see you on the next episode. Well, there we go. It's a wrap.